Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Wednesday, the 29th of December, comes to you from Fuerteventura in the Canary Islands, where I have escaped for some winter sun. So we start by looking at the dollar index, and it is bullish on the short-term chart, moving back above the cloud. And so we're seeing here weekly, daily, and 60-minute long-term, medium-term, and short-term view of the market. We are in bullish mode. So dollar strength is very much the key, and we see that running throughout 2022. That means the euro is weaker. We're below the cloud on all three time frames and falling away again today. Against the yen, the dollar is nudging the 115 level, always quite a good sign of dollar strength. We tend to, against the yen tends to be a lead indicator, and we're bullish here on all three time frames as well. Sterling sitting at 134, did have a little bit of a resurgence on interest rate moves before Christmas in the UK, but this is still in a medium-term downtrend. But sterling against the euro is nudging the 119 level back to the top of the range, and really now we're starting to see targets into the 120s. So we will see sterling going higher against the euro into the 120 area. So that's quite good news for sterling in Europe. Looking at Bitcoin, we're sitting at $47,000, we did break above the $50,000 level over Christmas, but we just couldn't hold it. So we are sort of medium term and short term bearish there. The S&P 500 index actually did make new highs over the Christmas period. We haven't really quite had the Santa rally that we would normally expect, but we've had quite a good run the last week. But we are still bullish on all three time frames for equities in the US. The Nasdaq didn't actually manage to make a new high, so not quite as strong as the S&P. The futures are up slightly today, so we will see the markets probably open a little bit higher. The Nasdaq is up over a third of a percent. Markets are quiet inevitably at this time of year, so there's not a great deal of volume. Looking at the VIX volatility, we're sitting steady below 20. So on that basis, the fear index is still not really worried about where the markets are at the moment. The FTSE future is up nearly 1% this morning, so we're seeing some strength there, but the DAX in Germany is down very slightly, and the CAC Quarante is up very slightly. So European markets little changed. We saw Japan down 0.4%, so interestingly there we are still in a medium-term bear trend, just trying to get back above the cloud. So quite a mixed picture there. The Hang Seng had a terrible 2021. Really just trending down all the time. We see here from a peak in the 30,000 area to the low 20s, so really a massive sort of almost 25-30% fall away there. So not looking great and still looking bearish. The Shanghai market actually down nearly 1%, and the Indian market was flat, little changed, but has had a pretty good run the last 2 years, looking very strong indeed. The Aussie market was up over 1.2%, so that's looking strong, a good breakout there, and bullish on all three time frames, so looking stronger there. We'll look at the energy mix in a minute. Soft commodities, we've got sugar up 0.4%. That trend is still pretty strong on the long-term chart. Looking at wheat, we are down a third of a percent, but still, again, bearish on that long-term chart. And if we look at gold, sitting above the $1,800 mark, just holding that, got to 1820 yesterday, but just hasn't managed to hold that. So still a little bit in the doldrums. And we've seen silver up 0.5% this morning, looking better for a short-term trend there. But we really do need to get back above this 25 level. US 10-year yield sitting at 1.5%. So no great changes there. We've been flatlining the last week or so. The energy mix, we put out a report out to clients this morning. Crude oil looking stronger, it's trending up. This is the daily and the weekly, daily 60-minute and 1 minute. So this is the very short-term chart. This is what we use for calling today each morning. And we see here that Brent crude is in bull trend mode. US nat gas also looking higher with some good upside targets. Coal, we've fallen right the way back to the 108 level. So, of course, coal is about to go through a rollover, so that will be interesting to watch. And if we look at emissions, we're sitting back below the 80 level. So we did have some upside targets this morning. We do need to hold that 80 level, so that's going to be quite key. We gave key levels to clients. Gas markets continue to fall. We see TTF down 8.5%, MBP. We're below the cloud now, so we shouldn't be surprised to see falls here. And German power, well, Cal 22 is on the way out, of course, and in looking to Cal 23, we are lower here this morning, and again the markets are pretty quiet at the moment. Last of all, just a quick look at the COVID cases. Seeing big moves to the upside in France. We've now got nearly 1,300 per million population. The UK is at 1,600, so France is catching up. Spain, where I'm at the moment, really pushing higher. So we're seeing a lot of these charts in Europe. Where they've had lockdowns, like Germany, Austria, and Netherlands, we've seen those rates coming down. But the reality is, the US, of course, the big move here. So we are seeing coronavirus Omicron cases really starting to rocket in a number of places. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.